Friday night here in Columbus. Dual meet beginning at 157 pounds. Maddox Shaw for Ohio State. Victor Voinovich against the nod for the Hawkeyes. Voinovich 5-4. He did wrestle in the match with Ohio State mid-November at the National Duels in Tulsa. Iowa fell to Ohio State 27-12. He wrestled a Brandon Cannon in that matchup. Cannon, number 1 ranked at 157, is out tonight for the Buckeyes. And Jim, you look at Ohio State this season, 16-0. They've been fantastic. This Iowa team 9-4, but don't sleep on the Hawkeyes.
Yeah, they've got, I'm sure they come in here, they see a path to victory, particularly with the replacement here at the Shaw at 157. If they can turn this match, that'd be a good start for them and be in a better spot. In that duel, it started at 125, and Bouzakis got off to a flying start here, got a fall, and they went on to win 4 more matches here, and that was really the difference in the meet.
Ohio State in that National Duels final won the first 5. Of course, that 1-2-3 punch with Bouzakis, Deino, and Mendes. Victor Voinovich, a redshirt senior from Brecksville, Ohio, a 2-time Ohio State champion. Brecksville, Ohio, about a 2-hour drive northeast here from Columbus. Here's a shot from Voinovich into the defensive Shaw, who neutralizes him with an underhook.
And I'm sure this is a big match for Victor Voinovich here, coming back to Ohio. Senior campaign right there, just see a shot. And he's a good wrestler, good tough wrestler, hard to take down. A guy that has difficulty maybe getting to his offense a little bit, but he's still a tough out to be able to go ahead and break through his head-hands defense here. A real challenge for Shaw.
Maddox Shaw, 16-5 on the season, 2-1 in duels. He lost to Andrell Taylor, 11-3, up at 157 pounds 2 weeks ago in Lincoln. All of his other matches, Jim, had been down at 149.
Yeah, he's moving up here in class, and that makes a difference, but got warned for stalling right there. Jaron Quincy kind of quick on that call. The fans let him know about it. Really hasn't been much action, and we've seen here where Voinovich has had a difficult time getting to his offense, and when you go ahead and push and get that stall warning here, you're in a position to be able to answer. You see that Shaw was able to go ahead and take that shot pretty much straight on, but he didn't have much of a counter for it, wasn't ready to go behind.
Inside of 30 seconds, scoreless in his first period. Voinovich in his 3rd season in Iowa City. His first season up at 157. He began his college career at Ohio State, or Oklahoma State rather. Was a national qualifier in 2023. Reached the round of 16. Final seconds in this first period. Again, beginning this dual meet at 157 pounds. Starting lineups are brought to you by Defense Soap. Defend what you have built. In the first half, key matchups with Kennedy and Kharchla at 174. Kueter and Feldman at heavyweight.
Yeah, Kueter and Feldman at heavyweight's a huge one, because Kueter didn't wrestle in that match at the National Duels. But then you see Bouzakis, Deino, Mendes here. That 1-2-3 punch has been so effective here for the Buckeyes.
The Hawkeyes starting second period underneath. Again, Ohio State without Brandon Cannon, the top-ranked 157-pounder in the country. And Voinovich, quick escape inside of 15 seconds, and the Hawkeye strikes first. A tally on the board for Voinovich.
Yeah, that's important to get that first quick escape right there. Voinovich really tough in the top position, so there's no scoring here, and it's really been tough for these two to open up against each other. So if there's no scoring here, we could see that the riding might be a factor here with only 12 seconds of riding time.
Earlier this season, Shaw defeated Antonio Avila of Wyoming for his first career dual meet victory in the Buckeye singlet.
Here, man. Let's go.
See the first decent, lower level change there by Shaw. Voinovich into the shot right there. He comes underhook to the far knee right there, pops him up and gets him up in the air and scores.
Good second period here for Victor Voinovich. An escape and a takedown. Voinovich did not compete last year. This is his first Big Ten duel of the season. He's 3-2 in duels for Iowa this season.
Yeah, pretty good with these legs. Puts that right leg in, able to go ahead and work that power half on the left-hand side right there. Shaw finds his elbows out, in kind of bad position. Going to be pretty easy to break down here. Gets both legs in now.
Voinovich getting the nod tonight over Jordan Williams.
Now improve.
Who has wrestled the bulk of the matches here at this weight class for Iowa. Inside of 30 seconds, Voinovich has Shaw flat. Riding time over 30 seconds.
Use this ride to work out of it. Let's go here. Yeah. He's working.
Hawkeyes looking to draw first blood here at 157. Final seconds in the second period. Voinovich leads it 4-0 after 5 minutes. Here's that takedown.
Yeah, take a look. Left-handed shot. Watch his right arm right here. Come up high as he comes up and pops his hips in, gets a wrinkle in the back of his neck, steps up with that here, and a good finish there. Didn't even give him time to kind of drape over the top and try to catch some ankles. It was a good shot.
Victor Voinovich on the team with his brother Cale. We'll see Patrick Kennedy at 174. He's got a brother on the team, Joey, and Drew Ayala.
You good on that there?
Brother of Drake Ayala. So a few sets of brothers on the Hawkeyes roster. An escape and a quick one by Matic Shaw.
Shaw being the aggressor right now here. He's given up riding time, but he needs to be effective on the feet if he's going to get back in this match and hopefully do it before 4 seconds left in the period.
Work through it.
To be able to cut the riding time as well. So see what he does here in this situation.
Double overs.
Yeah, he's got some double overs going here, but he doesn't really have him pushing back, and so he's going to break free from it.
Work here, man.
See Voinovich basically playing the edge right there.
Collar tie. There is a stall call on Voinovich, so each guy has been hit with stalling.
Yeah.
All right, I got one on each of them.
That was just a bad visual. He just had his left foot out and kind of a deep staggered stance, and now he's kind of not moving back to the center. But, to try to win this thing with a minute left with just stall warnings is not going to be really possible. So, that 4-1 lead.
4-1, right?
So, he's got to do it on the mat if he's going to he's got to get a takedown to get things going.
Shaw this season was 7th at the Midlands, 5-2. Won the Purple Raider Open title at Mount Union, but he's down by 3. And Voinovich with riding time over 60 seconds. He's got to be getting that sprint now. Go slide by attempt.
Slide by attempt gets back in on the leg, but fought off pretty well by Voinovich. Again on the outer third.
Voinovich knows exactly where he's at. And a stalemate is whistled. Will bring these two back to the center, which is 16 seconds.
What we talked about earlier, he's got to have a takedown with 12 seconds left. Gets right in on a shot. And look,
puts Voinovich on a hip. Down to 10 seconds. There's that neutral danger count. Voinovich draped over the back.
Pretty tight on that waist.
And it will be a 5-1 decision with the riding time point for Victor Voinovich. Picks up his first Big Ten dual meet victory of the season and puts Iowa out in front.
Just like you said, Shane, that's a reversal from what happened before here. The 57-pound match with Brandon Cannon was all Cannon. I'll tell you what, it's just a little bit different. And this meet started at 157. I don't know who basically decided to go ahead, but that's a big factor too, starting this thing at 57, get these first 2 matches where Iowa's heavily favored.
165 pounds, ranked 3rd in the nation. Mikey Caliendo for the Hawkeyes, the 3-time All-American from Geneva, Illinois, and redshirt freshman Ethan Birden. Birden 14-6 from Dublin, Ohio. Was a 4-time placer and a 2-time state champion at Dublin Kaufman High School. A big opportunity. No Patty Gallagher tonight for Ohio State. Mikey Caliendo, Big Ten and national finalist. 9 bonus point victories for Caliendo. And Mikey Caliendo, Jim, as consistent as they come in the country.
No question about it here. And he's in a situation now where You know, we've been impressed with Ethan Birden, that his ability to go ahead and kind of tie people up. He's got pretty good skills here, and this is a good challenge for him. And don't be surprised if he gets out of a few things here just because of his great defense, great balance.
Birden 2-1 in Big Ten duels. He beat Tyler Lillard of Indiana 2-1. Lost to LJ Adaujo 1-0, and then last Friday scored a major decision over Cody Gable of Wisconsin, and there's a takedown on the edge for the Hawkeye.
Yeah, I love to see that. Look at the patience that Caliendo showed right there. He's looking for that far ankle right there, and Birden slyly slid that out, kind of played hide and seek with it a little bit, and just patiently got to it. A lot of guys get in too much of a hurry or drive him off the mat and lose position in there, and he showed excellent finish there against a tough guy to finish on.
Arm chop off the whistle. Birden broken down flat to his chest. Caliendo in his third season in Iowa City, over 60 wins. Fourth at the national tournament in 2024. Last March in Philly, lost in that final to Mitchell Messenbrink. And he was an All-American at North Dakota State back in 2023, taking 7th. He has been fantastic in that all-black Iowa singlet. Riding time at 40 seconds for Caliendo as he extends Birden underneath. If you are Birden here, Jim, what's the answer?
Well, you got to try to get your hips back into him a little bit. See how his knees are flared out? That's only one way you can go ahead and get out. And I think that's pretty much an intentional release. So I guess to answer your question, Shane, is just wait for the intentional release.
And if you are Caliendo, Jim, a situation in this dual meet, Iowa needs bonus points from Caliendo here at 165.
Yeah, and he's capable of providing here with a good solid attack. Oh, beautiful drop right there. Gets to an angle there, explodes back into him on that angle, and gets the second takedown.
Looking for his 10th bonus point victory of the season. He lost to Ladarian D. Lockett of Oklahoma State at the national duels. He'll get another crack at Lockett perhaps on February 22nd when Iowa heads to Stillwater. His other loss to Mitchell Messenbrink in the duel against the Nittany Lions.
Improve here.
Riding time approaching 90 seconds for Caliendo. And there is a stall call on the Buckeye.
30 seconds, stall awarded Ohio State.
Birden this season the Midlands champion. But a tough task tonight against the third-ranked 165-pounder in the country, the three-time All-American, Mikey Caliendo. Slides in an armbar.
Really wearing him down from the top position, and Birden has just had nothing for it, no back pressure, legs out wide like that. It's really going to be a little bit easier for Caliendo to ride. Let's take a look at that second takedown, Shane, because what's important about this, he got the angle right there on the setup. Right there, and then explodes back into right here. Just basically leaves almost his feet right there and driving into him from that angle, just like he's breaking him down.
Tom Brand's already in his 20th season, 15 times. The Hawkeyes have placed top 4 at the national tournament, a 4th place finish in 2025.
Yeah, you see the difference in the two wrestlers right there from the bottom position. Take a look at this really nice mat return, pops up, but watch the action of Caliendo. There's back pressure against Birden. Even with that, keeps his knees up close to his chest and still stays in a pretty good position as they go off the mat.
Hawkeyes have won 4 team titles under head coach Tom Brands, most recently in 2021 as Caliendo adds to his lead with the escape, 7-1.
Oh, beautiful little pick right there, driving across, trying to get the far ankle. You see the ability, the counter ability of Birden now as he squares up. It's well done. A lot of guys will get taken down there.
Absolutely.
And they call stalemate. So avoided a takedown there. Looks like Caliendo was going to finish that.
Caliendo approaching 100 victories in his career.
Good aggressive snap by Caliendo right there. Now he's trying to work him, trying to free off his right hand. Right. Looking at him, see if he's got an elbow pass right there. Ducks to one side. Not really committed to it. Now a shot by Birden.
Straight into the hips of Caliendo.
Yep.
Straight on shot, no angle. 40 seconds in this second period. Iowa leading at 3-0, getting the decision from Victor Voinovich at 1:57.
And that's the ability that we've seen here with Birden, just be able to get, take a.
Work out of him.
You mentioned the shot. He didn't have much power in it once he got to the legs, but you know what? He was able to go ahead and compete in that position and keep himself into neutral position, not give up points. Counter shot by Caliendo.
Whizzer there from Birden.
Yeah.
Caliendo looking for his third takedown. Going to shove a single leg, trying to chase down that opposite ankle.
Yeah, see how he took it away.
Get up the line. Coming out. Action. Center here. Do you need to add any time to the clock? You good?
Head coach Tom Ryan, like Tom Brands in his 20th season. 7 times they have been top 3, 5 times a runner-up. National champs in 2015. Tom Ryan and Tom Brands, teammates at the University of Iowa under head coach Dan Gable.
Not only teammates, but I believe they're roommates.
I believe Tom Ryan was a roommate to Terry, I believe.
Drop down. 1.
Riding time approaching 2 minutes for Caliendo.
Down proof.
And we'll see how Caliendo plays this.
Yeah, we'll see how the coaching staff plays it here. I don't see anybody really making a definitive decision about what they want him to do. It's a critical situation in the meet.
You said it before, Birden's done a really good job competing.
Yes. And even though he hasn't scored points, he hasn't come anywhere close to it, but it's like, his defense has been good, and that's what we complimented him on. Great balance. Knows what the man's trying to do when he attacks him. So he is dangerous in this position. You can't take bad shots against him.
Riding time is locked up for Caliendo.
And 1 3-point takedown here with the riding time amassed here. If you stay in the top position.
But he needs a takedown for bonus points.
Yeah.
Caliendo trying to chase it down.
There's a shot by Birden. He's in.
He will lock his hands. If nothing else, this will take some time off the clock.
And can he score? Right there, see how Caliendo pushing that far knee away, kind of keeping him spread out just like you do if you're trying to ride him, kind of break the legs of the table.
Stalemate whistled. We are down to 36 seconds.
Shot off the whistle. Wow.
Another shot there from Caliendo. Birden collar tie.
Look for some misdirection here.
Another shot there by the Buckeyes.
Does he get his hands locked? No. Now this time it'll be a little bit tougher to follow up, but he goes to the wrist right there. That was really well done. See how he grabs that right wrist to Caliendo? I mean, we're fighting for a team point here.
And Caliendo got off to a quick start.
Wrestle center.
But Birden able to slow down the pace of Mikey Caliendo. And this Covelli Center crowd appreciating the efforts, as it will be an 8-2 decision for Caliendo. You see the disappointments on Mikey Caliendo. And a good majority of fans are giving Ethan Birden a standing ovation, applauding the efforts. Voinovich and Caliendo with decisions for the Hawkeyes. They lead at 6-0. Another chapter coming up in the book of Kennedy and Kharchla. It's next. It's Friday Night Wrestling on the Big Ten Network. Caliendo picking up his 12th victory of the season. Iowa out in front 6-0. Patrick Kennedy and Carson Kharchla in a top 5 matchup. The 4th meeting between these two at the National Duels. Kennedy in sudden victory defeated Kharchla 4-1. Kharchla won the previous 2 matchups. It is senior nights here in Columbus for the final time inside the Covelli Center in that Ohio State singlets. Carson Kharchla up the stairs onto the Resolite. Kharchla, an All-American in 2022, 3-time national qualifier. 14-2 on the season. Both his losses in sudden victory. One to Kennedy, as I mentioned. The other one against Nebraska's Chris Minto, 4-1. in Lincoln a couple weeks back. And you know this is going to be physical, Jim.
Yeah, you know it's going to be physical, and who makes the determination here, since those matches have been so close, that to go out there and grab something early, get some sort of early takedown, and not worry about whether you're going to be there all there at the end of the match. It's got to be a concern, because these matches have ended up being wars with a lot of pushing around. They hold their position real well. But can somebody break through and get that early takedown up, make a huge difference in the match?
These two have had very similar careers. Like Kharchla, Kennedy, a 3-time national qualifier. Kennedy, an All-American last March.
Stalemate.
Placing fourth at the national tournament as an 11 seed.
Here, not stalemates.
Both these guys have been at 165 during their career. Kennedy making the Big Ten Finals in 2023 down at 165. I believe that was against Dean Hamady of Wisconsin at that time. No score, 60 seconds in.
And these little techniques right here, you can see Kennedy employing, pulling him down, trying to stuff that head a little bit, make your opponent wear out his back and upper neck area there. Heavy collar ties, good lean.
Snap.
Big back into that front headlock position, and
keep working here.
They're just tough positions to be in for minutes at a time.
Use it to work out here. Stalemate there.
Hashtag Friday Night Wrestling. Jim and I inside the Cavelli Center. We got our hot dogs, no ketchup, of course. What are you eating tonight? I want to know who's got the best wings. What fan has the best wings for Friday Night Wrestling? Is it wings? Is it pizza?
Yeah, huge.
Super Bowl, of course, on Sunday. It is a huge wing weekend. Nachos, I'm sure. Of course, you got to add jalapenos to the nachos, right? You have to.
Yeah.
Kennedy keeps that front headlock. No score 2 minutes into this first period.
You mentioned the hot dog, though. This is a good place to eat a hot dog, though.
It is.
Dog to bun ratio, outstanding.
It is. They do a nice job here.
Stalemate.
There it is. Grab your dogs.
See, I got a mouthful. Shane's posing.
Love a good hot dog. Hot dogs, Friday Night Wrestling in the Big Ten.
Double underhook here by Kharchla. Fought off pretty well there by Patrick Kennedy, coming over the top and putting a lot of weight on it, and then you just can't jack him up with that position, so Kharchla moves on. Shot by Kennedy, counter shot.
Two good shots, one each.
Both these guys, Jim, it's one thing to get to the legs, it's another thing to get through the hips and finish.
Both guys.
Short time, 20 seconds. Kennedy was a 4-time Minnesota State champion at Casson Manorville.
Red's choice,
and for Kharchla, a 2-time state champion at Olentangy Liberties from Powell, Ohio. Both these guys ranked in the top 5 in the country, and they are scoreless after 3 minutes.
Bottom. Red's down.
Kharchla's choice, I think he's going to go ahead and take the down position.
Mentioned Kharchla, an All-American in 2022. He was 7th, then down at 165. Lost in the blood round at the national tournament in 2023. Was injured in 2024. Last season made the national tournament once again, but failed to earn All-American status. Works up to his feet.
Nice
Good
job
return from Kennedy.
Yeah, nice job of following right there. He's got the arm split, but Kennedy was able to kind of chase that down with his lower body. Get his feet moving.
Kharchla with the escape.
Yeah, good job, quick turn. And sometimes in the bottom position, it's called defense for a reason. You just got to hold position. Now, Kennedy in on a shot real quickly below the knee. He's able to pop up a little bit, give himself an opportunity to go ahead and compete here. Kharchla's coming back over the side, and a quick stoppage there.
Potentially dangerous.
Yeah.
You need time? You need time?
That was tough.
We're on my time.
Kharchla really tried to dive across. May have done some damage to himself in the process.
And this is going to be injury time, which means that Kennedy will have choice.
Yeah, you see, watch, focus on his left knee, which is right there, that knee that he has comes across, and Kennedy pulls down on it one more time, and I think something gave at that point. You can see his face right there. Hopefully it's just a cramp or something.
Carson Kharchla has battled some injuries during his time in Columbus as they work on his left knee. On Big Ten Plus, Minnesota and Rutgers in Piscataway inside Jersey Mike's Arena. Max McAnally and Shane Cartagena-Walsh. McAnally looking for a takedown on a single leg, chases down the other leg and gets the takedown to score 3 more. Earlier, Aiden Smith against Jory Volk tacks on some points and gets the 7-2 decision. Biggest win of his young career.
Now with the injury time there, Kennedy's going to have choice. He's going to go ahead and take the bottom position. Kharchla not known for maybe being as much of a rider.
That injury time could prove really critical for Kharchla. We are tied 1-1 because Kennedy will have the choice in the third period. Has that front headlock, now goes 2-on-1.
That's what he does as well as anybody in the country, is that he'll come off that 2-on-1 and really make you work to get your balance, to be able to square up. And if you take one of those half shots on Kennedy, he's going to feed you the hips.
Iowa looking for its 3rd straight victory. We began at 157, of course. In the national duels, we began at 125. Ohio State won the first 5. Different circumstances here on this Friday night in Columbus. Half a minute showing in this second period.
Wrestle here, man. Work through this.
I'll tell you what, you wrestle Patrick Kennedy, Jim, your neck is going to feel it the next day.
No question about it. It's going to push you around. The window's just slammed shut, okay? From the top down, it's like a... Basically, you try to dive right through there, he's going to catch you right there, snapping down. His chest lowers, legs get back, and it doesn't look like the
Sunday, Seymour Wrestling live on Big Ten Plus when the Hawkeyes lock up with the Spartans. Download the Big Ten Plus app today. It's always game on. What is wrong with her? Who is this woman? Who is this?
She's hungry.
Ketchup on the hot dog, Jim?
That's great. Hey, to each his own.
I'll tell you what, you saw that look on Tom Brand's face?
Yeah,
maybe a little bit of a look of concern. It's not because of the wrestling. He sees her too in the stands.
Yeah.
Ketchup on a hot dog. Come on, man.
Nice job by Kennedy there, peeling off to one side and turning into the arm that's around the waist right there, basically around the leg. Gets the good quick escape. So, you know, that extra escape and opportunity looms large here in this match between these two guys. But
3 escapes in this match.
But what I like about it, though, is that you've got there's a deficit here. You know, one guy's going to, with that 3-point takedown, you can make up for that pretty quickly here. We'll see what Kharchla's best shots are. Snap downs.
Offense, man.
This match going pretty much how we expected it to be. A lot of hand fighting, guys heavy with the hands.
But we expect it to be a 1-1 match, you know, at this point.
Right into that underhook.
Almost able to rip him off right there.
Down to 50 seconds. Another shot there from Kharchla, a little bit deeper this time on a single leg.
He's got his hands locked. Now he's going to put his hand. It's a good position to be able to lock the bottom leg right there on his side. Problem is Kennedy's locked up pretty deep in the crotch.
Down to 30 seconds here in regulation.
Will you focus on trying to get the neutral danger call?
And now he makes the turn, but Kennedy has that reverse grip on the right leg.
Got his wrist controlled right there. Can he go ahead and... It's awful tight for Kennedy. It's almost impossible to slip a half.
Final seconds. And for the second time this season, Patrick Kennedy defeats Kharchla. Tonight it's on senior nights, as Kennedy improves to 12-1 on the season. And the Hawkeyes get their third straight decision to open up this dual meet. Iowa out in front, 9-0.
First to Iowa, 184 pounds, a sophomore from Albany, Georgia.
Another hard-fought, gritty victory. 184 pounds. It's 8th-ranked Dylan Fishback for the Buckeyes, and Gabe Arnold. Still no Angelo Ferrari for the Hawkeyes. Dylan Fishback out of Aurora, Ohio, was a state champion at Aurora High School. Began his career at North Carolina State, where he was a 2-time national qualifier. Fell in the blood round at the national tournament in both 2024 and 2025. Lost on Sunday to Brock Mantanona 4-1. Of his 5 losses, 4 are in overtime.
Yeah, we saw that match last week here against Mantanona from Michigan, and it looked like that Fishback was going to go ahead and get a takedown right at the edge of the mat. Kind of turned the wrong way, and Mantanona kind of pulled it out of his, the rabbit out of the hat. Right, exactly. and he ended up scoring right at the end, a big, huge mat return, and what we thought was going to be Fishback's score ended up going the other direction.
Gabe Arnold, 10-3 this season, and he's done a great job with the circumstances, of course. Wrestling at 174, 184, 197.
And I've said this before, but I think he's gotten better. We had an opportunity to see him at the Soldier Salute. He got second in that weight class at like 174. It's a pretty good wrestler from Navy. But, he ended up going out there, and I just thought I see more offense from him. We saw him last year end up doing a lot of, out front posing a little bit and not really getting to many of his shots. But we've seen him, even with situations where he's had the lead, go out there and try to attack. And I think this has been a good year for him to get this type of experience, and it's a lot of good competition. He's been in big meet situations, and he's improving. Low shot right there by Fishback, and there's you see the power of Gabe Arnold. Yeah.
Now improved.
Georgia native Arnold, a 2-time national prep champ at Wyoming Seminary, then went to Iowa City High, won a state title in 2023. No score, 1:15 to go in the first.
Working off that elbow tie and collar, and when you have that elbow tie and collar, you can go ahead and kind of crunch the both of them together and start marching the guy around a little bit. Arnold controlling
center for me.
The mat.
1 minute.
Both guys really been in the center.
Fishback this season won the Clarion Open. Gabe Arnold was a finalist at the Soldier Salutes. At 174, fell to Danny Wask of the Naval Academy, 4-1 in sudden victory. Arnold trying to fight his way out of a front headlock by the Buckeye. Fishback clears the tie with 35 ticks in the first.
And Wask was the person that beat Gabe Arnold.
30 seconds.
Yes.
Tell you what, that's a great event.
Wrestle out of it.
Just sidebar here just for a second. That Soldier Salute, what a good job. They do a great job of running that thing. I know you didn't have the Iowa starting lineup in there this year, but you know what? That's not always going to be the case. That's a great event, and love it that the fact that the Service Academy showed up for that.
Final seconds. First period in the book. I'll be back in Coralville Extreme Arena on Sunday for the 4 duels. You can watch those on Big Ten Plus. Arnold will go on bottom. Arnold's 3 losses this season. Fell to Levi Haynes 4-2 down at 174.
Hold there, red.
Lost in sudden victory to Max McAnally 4-1 at 184. And I mentioned Wask earlier at the Soldier Salute.
Ooh,
One
nice
green
job
escape.
by
Nice quick escape.
Yeah, balancing on his head for a split second right there. Kind of unconventional, but it worked. Quick
Penn
escape.
State winning earlier tonight against Michigan. The Nittany Lions undefeated. Of course, Ohio State and Penn State next Friday right here on the Big Ten Network inside the Bryce Jordan Center in what could be a 1 versus 2 showdown. Fishback again with that front headlock, but Iowa has come out quickly, leading at 9-0.
And when you're in a tight match like this, Shane, you want to try to get to your go-to shot, man. And if you can't get it, you want to try to wear the opponent down a little bit, so that maybe he tires a little bit in the end. Heavy collar tie. They have had a takedown here before that peek out, or after that peek out shot, but this is the second week in a row where Fishback looks like he's 99% in a takedown situation, and he loses it. So that's what's offered here. A peek out right here. It peeks out, comes back over the top. Arnold does not give up in that situation, but weight is on the hands. Are they going to call that? Because he did have weight on his hands right there. I don't know if he was all the way behind at that point.
And keep in mind, Jim, it was called a takedown.
Yeah, for Arnold.
Tom Bryan is holding the brick, which leads me to believe that they are just
right there
monitoring this. The officials are able to look at the video at their discretion at any point.
Did he have the takedown before the roll started?
This is a humongous call in this dual meets. Tom Bryan and Ohio State fans, of course, want the 3. You see Jordan Williams, Patrick Kennedy. This is an interesting call, and it is a big call.
Well, unlike last week, you could make a case for this takedown. Really a tough call.
They continue to view the monitor in that last sequence.
Now, the referees may have decided to just look at it on their own.
Tom Bryan holding that challenge brick leads me to believe that's the case.
It is a challenge.
There you see Dylan Fishback. He had a heartbreaking loss against Michigan last Sunday.
After review, the call on the mat has changed. It's 3 Ohio State.
And they give the takedown to Dylan Fishback, and this dual meet has turned on a dime in Columbus.
Wow. Tough call. And I mean, it's just a tough call to make either way. That was that close. But I think, he had him spread out a little bit. He had weight on his hands. And that roll started just a little late.
And that call has ignited this Covelli Center crowd. Dylan Fishback gets the win. That peek out.
Yep, and
it took him a takedown.
Shano, it took him a while to get to his hands, right, before he started that roll, and I think that was the difference. He went from his elbows up to his hands. That was enough time for reaction before that roll started. What a match.
9-3. Iowa leading. Love it. Hashtag Friday Night Wrestling. Big mat return there from Sampson. Switch position there for Jag, and the Buckeye adds to his lead with the escape.
Yeah, good job off that mat return here to get the legs back underneath him. Hit a little changeover right there. Get back with the quick escape. So riding time only 2 seconds in favor of Sampson right now. Giog's really got to try to control. You've seen where he's been able to get the fireman's carry on that left-hand side. But Cody Sampson's beating him to that collar tie right there. It's making him hard. It's making it hard for him to get that right-hand collar right there. Okay, it's making it difficult for him to get his shot off.
Jim, going to put you on the spot as we saw the guys golfing.
Offense
what
here.
PGA golfer do you think would be the best wrestler? One came to mind with me pretty quick.
The best athlete is Tiger Woods.
I'm going Brooks Koepka. I bet Brooks Koepka would have been a good wrestler.
Yeah, that's a possibility. He's got a big set of biceps, that's for sure. Yeah,
here's Giog on a single leg. It's
the second ankle right there.
And it's another takedown for the Buckeye. Giog, 7-1.
Going to move off that position, and he's going to go ahead and give him is it an intentional release? No, Sampson's going to go down.
Hold now. Red cover, we'll have a pause.
The
Set.
year Ohio State won the national title, 2015. They tied with Iowa at the Big Ten tournament in Columbus. And a big reason for that is Mike McMullen beat Bobby Telford. He came from behind to beat the Hawkeye. And I've always joked with Mike, who's now doing work for us on the Big Ten Network, that Ohio State should have included him in the team picture.
All right, here we go. Here we go, Red.
I remember Mike McMullen sat next to me. I was doing the interviews, and he said, that's the first tournament I've won since my redshirt freshman season.
Hey, that's life in college, man.
Absolutely. In the Big Ten, there's Bobby Telford, who had a phenomenal career, the All-American.
That's keeping the hope alive that you're still eventually going to win one of those. And that weight class, it had like 4 or 5
they had
really
some
good
hammers. If you
heavyweights.
remember at that time, Jim, you had Chalfant from Indiana was really good. McClure had a great mullet like Sammy Brooks. He was the heavyweight at Michigan State.
Right.
McMullen at Northwestern. Adam Kuhn at Michigan. Connor Medbury at Wisconsin. Bobby Telford at Iowa. Tony Nelson at Minnesota. I mean, heavyweight was stacked at that time. There's Bobby Telford. He got to scrap with all those guys. Assistant coach now for Tom Brands. And Bobby's looking good.
He's dropped.
Keeps himself in really good shape. Him and his wife recently having another child. I believe that is 2 for Bobby Telford and his wife. Good stuff. Sampson goes on bottom here in this third period. Giag thought about a cradle, goes back to a half Nelson. A hook on the right side.
One green escape, neutral.
I was enjoying my conversations with Bobby. 20 seconds into this third period. And here's Giag again, hunting down 3 more. A roll from Sampson. And he went for it,
yeah,
Jim.
And one more time, he goes to the high flyer. This time it got him to a little neutral position there. Fought off a takedown. He's fighting for team points. Maybe tried to get a win out of this thing with a big move. And what that does, Shane, is you just have a little more intrepidation out in front of a crowd, and the guy's capable of throwing you around like that off of your shots, so you just may be a little bit less anxious to get after it.
Not as eager to throw one more fastball.
That's correct, yeah. Right down the middle, but he jumps into it there. All right, now you seal your chest to that thigh as he tries to roll through, switch to a double. So he gets it.
Able to turn the corner.
Look at the Ohio State coaching staff begging him, let him go. Let him go.
Up by 7. But if he's able to ride him, Jim, he would take riding time over a minute.
Yep. There's a single leg. They'll go off. Maybe no. You have the score right there.
Great adjustment there from Giag on the edge to get that takedown. And because of it, the Buckeye is going to pick up the major decision. Good answer from Giag and Ohio State.
And there's your standing ovation.
Fishback and Giag with decisions for the Buckeyes after Iowa takes the first 3 matches. We have got ourselves a good one.
Grab it, let's go.
Here in Columbus. Patrick Kennedy, a hard-fought victory over Kharchla. An exciting second half is coming up next. Don't go anywhere. It's Friday Night Wrestling on the Big Ten Network. And then Ohio State answers back with Fishback and Giag at 84 and 97.
Yeah, that's a great match there. Giag, of course, getting the bonus points at the end for the Buckeyes. And like I said, this is the big one right now. This heavyweight match up All-Americans.
This is a big matchup in this duel. These two are meeting for the 4th time. They met 3 times last season, Jim. In the dual meet last January, it was Kueter 5-4. Kueter beat him at the Big Ten's 2-0, and then the Hawkeye 8-2 at the national tournament. Kueter winning all 3 matchups against the All-American Nick Feldman, now ranked 3rd in the country.
Yeah, in those matches, Feldman kind of struggled from the bottom position, kind of shot across the leg, and Kueter was the one that kind of did the counters in that situation. So a lot of shots by Feldman that were countered off were points by Kueter. And it's been interesting to see what the adjustments have been made with these 2 big guys, 2 young, talented heavyweights.
Nick Feldman, 16-3. He had won 5 straight before falling to Takedowns of Michigan, 4-1 last Sunday here inside the Cavelli Center. His other 2 losses to Isaac Trumbull of North Carolina State and top-ranked younger Bastida of Iowa State. And early on in this first period,
Feldman caught a poke in the eye there. I don't think anything intentional, but he
grabbing his right eye.
Right away here with the left hand of Kueter, basically coming in and going, right inside the headgear, and that thumbs out. No damage.
Ben Kueter, the redshirt sophomore, 4-3, 2-2 in the Big Ten.
1 intentional.
What are you looking for, Jim, in the first period?
Well, in the Penn State match, you saw where Feldman kind of, had to absorb a lot of heavy collar ties by Marisola. I think that really helped out for Marisola late in the match when they got the scrambles. So I think if Feldman wants to make this a match where, just like we saw with Patrick Kennedy, heavy on the collar, that type of thing, you can see that, Kueter's been a little bit frustrated. We haven't seen him get on much of his offense because he hasn't, taken a lot of shots. He's capable of doing it. Excellent athlete, football star, and had success at the international age group level.
Junior freestyle world champ.
Yeah, so it'd be a matter, in my opinion, is that how is Kueter going to manage these heavy collar ties? And I think that, Feldman's probably going to hit pretty early in the match because he saw the success that Marisola had here with that. So, it's a shame. You see this guy get beat with a certain type of technique or a certain pace. I mean, you're going to see it for the next month. So, heavy collar ties there by Feldman.
Kueter had that great Big Ten tournament last March at Northwestern. He was 3rd. Went to the national tournament as a 5-seed, placed 8th. Was 21-9 last season for Iowa. No score. Top 10 matchup here at 285. 1:10 remaining in the first.
Saw that heavy left-hand collar tie right there that time. Right, left-hand collar tie. He's really stuffing that head. Actually putting Kueter's chin right to his chest right there. It's a hard position to breathe.
How much different do you think it is, Jim, for these guys who typically will go last, and now they are first out of the intermission?
Oh, it's I always thought it would have been a challenge. Of course, I was a lighter weight guy, and I got the opportunity to go out there in the beginning, and we didn't have the juggle of the weight classes like they do now. But, you generally start warming up a couple times before, so you're going to hit that a little bit earlier. And to some degree, you might end up being better because it's a little bit of relief just to get out there. I think a lot of times the big guys are at a little bit of disadvantage here because they particularly in tight
carry the
dual
nerves
meets.
of the dual meet.
Yeah, they start absorbing all the pressure, the close situations. We've already had some close calls in there. You absorb all that stuff. It's how you react to that. Can you kind of clear that out of your mind before you get out there on the mat?
Feldman from Corryville, Pennsylvania, a 3-time national prep champ at Melbourne Prep. He goes scoreless in the first period with Ben Kueter. Kueter's got the choice. The Hawkeye takes a glance over at his corner. And the Hawkeye will go underneath. Ben Kueter, a 4-time undefeated Iowa State champion.
We'll have a short pause, men, then we'll go, okay?
Kueter weighed in today at 236. Feldman was 235.
About as close as you get. 2 different body styles. It's more compact. Feldman.
Kueter works to his feet.
1 green escape.
Feldman
neutral.
will push away the Hawkeye. Kueter leads it 1-0.
Heavy collar tie once again here by Feldman. So he's been the one that's maybe been controlling the head ties We'll see if he, what he tries to do with that.
Use your workout.
We saw, when he wrestled AJ Ferrari here with his 2 big wins there, he was able to go ahead and get to underhooks right there, and then kind of pick, kind of a knee pick. He didn't even actually go down to his knees when he did that. Right
nice
there.
Shot there from Feldman on a double leg.
There's that
driving
overhook.
through, and he scores the takedown. Feldman pulls the trigger and puts 3 on the board.
And just like what we talked about there, his driving with that underhook, it made all the difference in that finish, right on cue.
Goes into that coffee grinder position. Or do I have to call it a head lever since we're in Ohio?
Yeah, you're learning.
Another escape makes it a 1-point match. Feldman, a 2-time national qualifier. He was an All-American, placing 5th in 2024. Lost in the blood round last March. He was a Big Ten finalist in 2024. Lost to Greg Kirkfleet of Penn State. Last year was 5th at Northwestern. He's up by 1 with just over a half minute remaining in the second. Goes underhook right side, a collar tie as well for the Buckeyes. Center of the mat.
And you mentioned that collar tie has really been the difference. He's been able to wear heavily on Kueter's head. That made the difference. It allowed him to get to the leg, and then he finished it up with that, underhook maneuver like he hit on Ferrari.
Feldman will have the choice in the third.
I think this is a good situation, to be honest with you, for this match and for the entertainment value of this match, and for Kueter here in his development. What's he going to do? What's going to be his go-to shot here in this situation? Let's take a look. Shane at the takedown on the replay here. Drops into his level. Can't quite turn the corner here, but he has that left-handed underhook. Is able to go ahead and drive through, and that's home cooking for Feldman right there. He just loves that position.
Look at the Ohio State corner. Tom Bryan, Bo Jordan, and on your right, the 4-time national champion, Logan Stieber.
And notice how it's Feldman's choice, and he chose neutral because Kueter's had success in that top position, and with not much riding time for Feldman, only 26 seconds with the takedown and the being in the top position. It's a good choice for him in this tough dual meet.
These two did not wrestle at the national duels in mid-November in Tulsa. In that national duels final, Iowa forfeited to Feldman at 285. That was a 27-12 win for Ohio State. The Buckeyes 16-0. They have never began 17-0 in program history.
And really, it's on Kueter right now, trailing 1:15 left. What's his go-to shot? I think this is a good opportunity for him to define for himself how he wants a match like this to go down. If you want to just stand out in front, or you want to try to get to your shot. Any time would be good for him to go ahead and get on the attack.
60 seconds remaining. Feldman's father, Josh, was an All-American at Virginia Tech in 1994.
Watch Feldman.
Wrestling family.
Watch Feldman, Shane, beat him to the inside of that collar tie. See that right inside coming there? So that left hand is not as strong in that situation.
It's that underhook.
And he gets the underhook, but he also comes back to the collar. So he's wearing heavy on that head of Kueter. And now we're down to 30 seconds. Where's your go-to shot?
And Feldman has not been hit with stalling as he drifts towards the edge, goes back to that underhook and collar tie once again. Now circles back in and trots back to the center. We are down to 15 seconds. Shot there from Kueter, neutralized by the underhook. Feldman, nice job there to circle in. And Kueter underneath the chest of Nick Feldman. Kueter wins all 3 a season ago, but it is Feldman with the victory over Kueter for the first time. That is a big win for the Buckeyes, and they have their first lead of the night.
It's t-shirt time. Make some noise right now if you want a t-shirt.
Heavyweight in the Big Ten, a tough loss to Tay Gadali last Sunday. And he answers with a hard-fought victory over a guy he fell to 3 times a season ago. You see the smile. Those wins, those feel really good, Jim.
Yeah, well, you can reverse it. See all of his coaches happy for him here. They had a strategy today for Ben Kueter.
125 pounds. Another rematch from the national duels. Nick Bouzakis. What a season he's having down at 125 pounds. Power, and a little bit more power for the Buckeye. He pinned Dean Peterson in a minute and a half, and Ohio State was off and running en route to the National Duals Championship.
Hands already set.
And of course, we know that Nick Bouzakis is a really big, 125-pounder, down from a 133 where he had success last year in the Buckeyes lineup. He comes down, and to get Ben Deino in the lineup here, it's made him really a great 1-2-3 punch here with Mendes as well. But, their sacrifices go along with that. I think they've done a pretty good job of measuring here. Now, this is the power that you have from Bouzakis. Look at this.
Bouzakis looking for something big. Can he do it again? He's got Peterson on his back.
He sagged back a little bit.
Jim, this place is going to explode if Bouzakis can get the fall. But it is a takedown and 4 near fall. And once again, Bouzakis with a quick start.
Well, they have managed this weight cut here for him almost perfectly. Last year in the national duels here, we didn't see him to the second round where they had the luxury of throwing Brandon McCrone out there. He did a great job. Bouzakis out there after rehydration and everything and a little bit of rest here came out solid and did the same thing today. So I don't know who decided what the rotation was going to be, but the start at 157 was huge for Bouzakis.
I'm impressed that Dean Peterson fought off his back.
He did. I agree with you there.
The roof, Jim, would have blown right off of this place. But a quick 7-1 lead for Bouzakis. Dean Peterson wrestled a couple of matches back on December 12th. And then he was off until January 16th. He fell to Luke Lillidahl in Iowa City. That was a few weeks back, and he's back in action. The redshirt senior from Barnegat, New Jersey, began his career at Rutgers. 4 seasons with the Scarlet Knights, was a 3-time national qualifier, and fell in the blood round in 2023 and then last March in Philly.
Right, driving through, here's the power again, one more time. Getting to that leg, and you put this arm around the waist like this, you know exactly where he's going to go, right back to that bear hug, and Peterson got out of it that time, and that might have been even more impressive than getting off his back.
Bouzakis, a 2-time prep national champ at Wyoming Seminary, drops down below the knee.
I'm gonna let you work here, keep wrestling.
30 seconds.
You got it?
25 to go in this first period. Fireworks in the first for Bouzakis and the Buckeyes.
Peterson's forcing him to stay down low on that leg. Bouzakis just will hook the leg, come around the waist, and look out. This is trouble.
Bouzakis, a Greco background as well, 2021 junior world team in Greco. Bouzakis putting Peterson on his back.
Look at the bend in the spine right here. This right there, you get a gun. Oh, he almost gets through right there. Watch this crowd go nuts.
Nick Bouzakis, one of those guys that if he was a baseball player, you would show up to batting practice and watch him hit 425-foot homers. I mean, he's got some pop. Quick escape makes it 8-1. Of course, he had the big pin against Michigan last Sunday. That was his 4th straight bonus point victory.
And that match started at 125,
yes.
So he went right out there after the 2-hour weigh-in. So you look at his face right now, you look at his level of concentration, look at his skin tone and all that stuff. He doesn't look like he's dehydrated at all. Looks really good at the weight class right now.
Last year at 133, 3rd in the Big Tens. And then was the 7th seed and fell in the blood round to Tyler Knox of Stanford. Over 20 wins in each of the past 2 seasons for Bouzakis. But he's been fantastic down at 125. Has his hands locked again.
One more time. And if you're Peterson, do you have a throw in this position? Now he switches off to a headlock.
And some Slick work from Dean Peterson.
Catches himself right there, gets him not reacting to that, and was that enough to go ahead and maybe stop the onslaught for a while and actually gain points in position here. A good ride in this position would be huge for Peterson to get back in the match.
Still a long way to go in this match. We got 30 seconds, second period. Claw ride there from Peterson. There's a roll from Bouzakis. And there's the escape awarded. It's been a fun match to watch.
Yeah, these guys are rolling through, and just Peterson hasn't given up in this situation. You want to play him out. You almost got to play him like he's on, big fish on light drag here a little bit. Wear him out a little bit. Get him into some positions where he has to breathe hard.
Jim,
short time.
We just made history once again. A fishing reference on Friday Night Wrestling. What did you just say?
I said you got to keep him on light drag. Wear him out. That's how you bring the big ones in, Shane.
I was going to drop the Babe Winkleman reference, but I feel bad. I'm not sure if he's with us anymore. My apologies if he's not, but that's the first name that came to mind when I think about fishing.
Yeah.
Bouzakis up by 5 as Peterson goes on bottom here in the third. Caution on Bouzakis. That's what we need, Jim. Hashtag Friday Night Wrestling. Who's got the biggest fish on the wall?
Easy, Red.
Good quick escape here for Peterson. Again, with a 3-point takedown, you're only a couple takedowns down in this situation.
Riding time and on factor. Still plenty of time or early third period. Bouzakis the quick start. He was up 7-0.
And one of the things that, Bouzakis will drop to the knee right there, and he'll either go to the head collar, the collar tie right there, and go right into his ties, or else he'll dart in on the shot. And it's really hard to measure which one he's doing. You bring his hands up, and I like what Peterson did right there to get him out of his low stance, but there's got to be more of that.
Babe Winkleman definitely watching tonight, 76 years young. Just over 60 seconds here in this third period.
1 minute.
Keep the hands clean here.
Collar tie from the Hawkeye. Bouzakis able to clear.
He's kind of in a hold his lead type of motion right now. Bouzakis is post, but he's not really looking to attack off that. He's just keeping Peterson off balance. Drops down to a knee and back into his tie. One
of those big matchups next Friday night with Luke Lillidahl ranked #1 in the country and Nick Bouzakis ranked 2nd.
Neutral.
Whizzer from the Buckeye.
Wrestle through it. Stalemate. Neutral.
Penn State, Ohio State next Friday here on the Big Ten Network. Flurry here by Dean Peterson late. A lot of pressure on that knee.
Yeah.
And this one comes to an end. 9-5, that quick start, the difference for Nick Bouzakis. And he remains undefeated, improving to 11-0 on the season. Looks like Bouzakis grabbing maybe his lower back, hip. Hopefully he's okay. But first, top 10 showdown here at 133. Undefeated redshirt freshman Ben Deino and the two-time national finalist Drake Ayala. These two met at the national duels. It was 10-4 Deino. 2 first period takedowns, a late takedown in the second for Deino. That was over 2.5 months ago. Deino, 13 bonus point victories, 11 tech falls. He's had quite the season, knocking off All-American Zan Fugit, Jacob Van Dee, Chris Cannon, and Evan Frost, along with Drake Ayala.
course, Ayala, the two-time NCAA finalist, and had a slow start to his season, and one of them was the loss to Deino. I think Deino took him down 3 times in that match, and just looked like the one that had the most energy. 3 different shots out there. But last, gets the Nebraska meet. I thought we saw something in Drake Ayala here against Van D from Nebraska, where he just came out there, really
gave up the first takedown.
But it was all Ayala after that, looking a lot more like his national tournament form that we've seen. This Deino, like so many of the young, disciplined freshmen that we see, this 133-pound weight class is just going to be amazing.
Offense here.
And filled with full of youth too. Look at guys like you've got
Marcus Blaze at
Penn State, and he gets low. I mean, I watched him a lot today here in his match, and just gets good low position, gets to his attacks. Deino the same way, great stances. And so if you're standing up, and Ayala's a tall wrestler here, and that's a lot of reasons why he drops down to the knee, right? Doesn't back out. He's trying to get underneath his opponent here. Deino, he's just the whole total package here. Pace, technique, excellent finisher with the single leg, head to the outside shots.
A couple other young guys on the scene nationally. Jax Forrest at Oklahoma State. We'll see how David Taylor decides to use Jax Forrest this season. Aaron Seidel at Virginia Tech has been outstanding. This is an amazing weight class, and of course, number 1 ranked is the reigning national champion, Lucas Byrne from Illinois, the savvy veteran.
Yeah, this weight class is going to be amazing for the next 3-4 years.
Ayala down to a knee in a scoreless match, 45 seconds here in the first. Ayala from Fort Dodge, Iowa, a 3-time Iowa State champion. Deino, a 4-time Illinois State champion. He's from South Elgin, Illinois, won those 4 state titles. Went to St. Charles East. U17 World Team member in 2023. The Clarion Open champ.
Single leg shot right there. Deino in a little bit of trouble here. He's got that leg spread out like that. An opportunity for 16 seconds left for Ayala to score. See Deino coming up over the head right there, tucking that left knee in here to keep Ayala from switching off to a double. Now he's cut the corner. Avoid a takedown.
The Big Show delivers highlights, post-game interviews, and complete analysis. It's tonight at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific, right here on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Rick Pizzo and Malik Amin will be on that show.
Cover legal.
It's been a fun night in the nation's premier wrestling conference, the Big Ten. Rutgers with a huge win.
Short pause here, guys, okay? Reset.
Over Minnesota in Piscataway.
There we go. Green. Short pause.
What a scene at Jersey Mike's Arena tonight. Big win for Scott Goodale and the Scarlet Knights. Deino the quick escape. Inside a 10-second second period, he leads it 1-0.
Ayala comes right back to that ankle pick off that. Oh, now shot there. Good job by anticipating the roll through is Deino, and he'll score.
Deino, an escape and a takedown here in the second period. Slides in a half Nelson, a 4-0 lead.
That's what separates this young man from a lot of the crowd, is his ability to finish.
Green, right here.
And now blood on Ayala as they send both wrestlers back to their corners. This was really good work from the young Buckeyes.
Watch Deino's feet right here. He gets to his feet, but watch when he anticipates the roll through, all right? He keeps that leg elevated, and that's what he does. Not only does he get his feet back, but he keeps that leg up high with his right arm right there, and makes that roll through almost impossible, and then he just covers. Really well done. That was his first really major shot of the match.
Looking for his 20th win of the season. Ohio State leading Iowa 13-9. 13 unanswered for Ohio State. After Iowa raced down to a 9-0 lead, we began at 157 pounds. Deino up by 3 halfway through the second period.
Inside collar tie for Ayala. Tries to snap it down. And what you see these good young wrestlers do is that they just cut the corner right there, get to the corner and circle back in. They present themselves. No backwards motion right there. They don't like the tie-up they have. Shot fake right there by Deino.
Yeah, we'll wrestle this out.
Another rematch from the national duels.
30 seconds.
Forehead to forehead. 20 to go in the second. Ayala had a late attack in the first period.
Engage.
Mentioned Lilladol and Bouzakis in a 1-2 showdown, possibly next Friday. Another one could come at 133, a top 5 showdown with Ben Deino and Marcus Blaze. A couple of really impressive young stars in the Big Ten. They'll send Ayala back to the Iowa corner once again. He's met by Terry Brands, Ryan Morningstar. Rutgers and Minnesota, Remy Cotton and Gavin Nelson. A really good scrap at 197.
Green says bottom, third period.
Ben Deino, a redshirt freshman. Marcus Blaze of Penn State, a true freshman, both undefeated. Blaze winning earlier tonight against Michigan to keep his record unblemished.
One green escape, we're neutral.
Good work by Ayala getting to his feet, making the quick turn.
No stalls, one caution.
One thing you'll see from Ayala is that he'll get on the attack early. I mean, he knows he's down here. He's not going to wait till the end. There's a nice single leg attempt, his best shot of the day.
Here's Ayala once again.
Spread out, but he allows that. Not able to come out the back door. All right, using a lot of energy down there, and Deino's going to get a stalemate out of it. Boy, that's some heavy hips.
Done it a couple of times in this match. Some really good defense as well. Yeah. Slick on his feet.
I think we're seeing that he's more than just an offensive superstar here. He's also got great defense.
Riding time and on factor in this third period.
But that was a good shot by Ayala to get to that leg, and now you're trying to solve this puzzle right there. Maybe you come back to it and get a little bit quicker finish. If he could roll his head to the outside, he might be in a position to, strike a double.
About to clean up this mat at the break too. Not too bad.
Keeps that collar tie left side.
But look at that, if you said, okay, Deino wants you to go out there and wrestle in an 8 foot circumference, or 10 foot circumference, I think he could do it for 30, 40 seconds.
Stayed center of the mat, right on that Ohio State logo. Here's a shot from Ayala. That draws a stall call on Deino.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Can he roll his head possibly to the outside? The head is really stuffed in there, right? Now shin whizzer, Ayala up to his feet.
15 seconds with this scramble.
Right. Elbow deep on that ankle. See that? That's what he has right there. And guess who has the neutral danger situation? Can he split the legs and come out the back door?
And Ben Deino, the redshirt freshman, remains undefeated as he knocks off Drake Ayala for the second time this season. Deino is now 20-0. It sets up next week a pair of undefeateds in Deino and Blaze.
And that means it's time for t-shirts.
Earlier talked about that win by Remy Cotton and the Scarlet Knights. This is in sudden victory. Cotton puts Nelson on his back and he gets the fall.
Mayhem in Jersey Mike's.
I can only imagine the scene in Piscataway. 141 pounds, it is Cale Peterson for the Hawkeyes. And Jesse Mendes for the final time that Ohio State singlet trots down that aisle for the last time in front of this home crowd. Jesse Mendes has won 21 straight. 16-0, 14 bonus point victories, including 7 tech falls. He's got 4 falls, a trio of major decisions. At the national duels, he beat Nasir Bailey 17-1. Cale Peterson getting the opportunity tonight for Iowa. What's impressed you most watching Mendes in his career here in Columbus?
He knows why he's winning. He's tougher. That's just it with him. Is it, everything's physical, and it goes back to that one match he had with Bo Bartlett where he was 99% takedown.
National finals 2 years ago.
Yeah, and just like most people, if they take that half breath of doubt, and it's over with, okay, to give up that takedown, but not this guy, all right? And just, that encapsulates his competitive spirit.
Fell behind Brock Hardy 5-0 in the national final this past March. Found a way to win it 12-9 to capture his 2nd national title. And remember, Jim, that came after a 4th place finish at the Big Tens.
Yeah.
Working off that underhook. Nice shot there from Cale Peterson.
Yeah, Peterson's presenting himself pretty well here. 125 into the first period.
Wrestle on the edge.
He's made a couple shots. There's a slide-by attempt against the national champ.
Cale Peterson 8-1. He's a redshirt sophomore. Here's Mendes and a quick finish. Puts the Buckeye up 3-0.
Not really jinxing a guy like that. I'm proud of the spirit out there to go out there and go at the champion like that. But Jesse Mendes gets in that position, he's going to score.
It has been a storied career for one of the all-time greats. Already a 2-time national champion. You look for that 3rd in Cleveland, and deep on a shot. There's a stall call on Peterson.
No control.
As Mendes is poised to score a 2nd takedown.
You're ready to switch, right?
He's got that bottom leg hooked right there. He's going to take him over. Peterson basically explodes at the right time, can get his hip down.
2 takedowns in this first period. He's got the Hawkeye Peterson on his belly.
Work the score here, man.
Both legs in right there. That's a really tough situation for Peterson to be in. He really doesn't have the ability to go ahead and turn to his back with both hips up elevated like that. Now he's going to pull one leg out.
Time will run out. Mendes' first dual meets here inside the Covelli Center was back on November 11th, 2022. He fell 3-2 to Sam Latona of Virginia Tech. And then it was a week later, picked up his first dual meet victory in this arena. A 12-2 major decision over Angelo Rini of Columbia. Rini finished his career at Bloomington with the Hoosiers. But what a ride it's been for Jesse Mendes. And he escapes to make it 7-1. Won a Big Ten title 2 years ago. Beat Bo Bartlett to win that Big Ten crown.
Offense here.
He's just a winner.
Yeah, take a look at this action right now. Little head whip situation. Peterson's battling in there, presenting himself. Been warned for stalling, but that's more of a dominant situation than it is him actually not presenting himself out there.
Peterson, a 3-time champion, went to Greene County High School. He's from Rockwell, Iowa.
Just as I say that, Peterson backs out. Now he takes a shot. Uh-oh, be careful here. Spladle situation.
Saw that at the national tournament with Brock Hardy a couple years back.
Keep wrestling if you want to be here.
Jesse Mendes head in the side.
I'm going to let
Peterson holding on to the right ankle.
Yeah, now they're going to take it back over. He's going to split the legs right there.
3 more for Mendes in bonus point territory once again.
Now improve.
Mendes, one of those guys, Jimmy, just loves to live in the deep waters. I mean, he is just super comfortable being uncomfortable.
I think he's super comfortable getting tired. You know what I mean? I think that's a lot of what helps him continue to wrestle a real strong pace all the way through a match. He's just used to going ahead and giving it all out there.
Randleman. There is Logan Stieber on your left and Jay Jaggers on the right.
1 green escape.
6 national titles combined between those two. Now in the coaching staff under head coach Tom Ryan. Early third. Mendes with riding time over 1:20. He's up by 8. He is relentless in his pursuit.
Trying to shelf that bottom leg right up there and then try to limp that, maybe that arm out, look for a cradle. Comes across to the other side. He's not happy with just getting a takedown here. He's thinking back points.
He's using this as a turn. There's no count. One green escape. Neutral.
Escape on 1 mile.
Mendes underhook. Fakes a shot. Just stalking Peterson. Peterson dives in from space.
Yeah, the Peterson's made about 3 dives in there and hasn't got scored on here. This is good work. So,
but Mendes going to beat that shoulder and wins the scramble for 3 more.
He's got the Turk lined up right there.
This is either going to be a tech fall or a fall for Mendes in his final match in the Ohio State singlet here inside the Cabelli Center.
He's going to sink that left elbow through. Not going to quite get it.
He puts an exclamation point with a tech fall victory.
Which means it's time for T-shirts. Make some noise if you want a T-shirt.
Of this dual meet. Another rematch from the national duels, won by Ethan Styles. Styles ranked 7th in the nation, brings with him a record of 11-4. Ryder Block ranked 18th. 7-4 mark for the Hawkeyes. Block has lost 3 of 4, coming off a 4-2 loss to Minnesota's Drew Roberts. Ethan Styles, redshirt sophomore and All-American last year for Oregon State. He's 11-4 this season. Beat Ryder Block 3-2 at the national duels.
Offense.
Last Friday, Styles fell to Joe Zargo of Wisconsin 7-4. He did not wrestle against Michigan. That loss to Zargo snapped a 4-match winning streak for the Buckeye.
Going off of memory, this is a really tight match here between these two guys. That both guys had a hard time getting in their shots. You know, Styles is an excellent scrambler. He's just
commit to an offense, man. Let's go.
Keep you out in distance, and if you get to his legs, that's only half the battle. Now Styles looks like he had an opportunity to go ahead and suck up a leg, but a good job of by Block to get his leg back and come back to his feet.
I believe, Jim, every rematch from the national duels has had the same result. The Buckeyes improving to 17-0, and that sets up the 1-2 showdown next Friday at Penn State here on the Big Ten Network.
And slide by Block, roll through there by Styles. They're
Styles
back into
with the
a
scrambling,
shin,
as you mentioned.
yeah, shin wizard. Now he drops in there. There's 3 different scramble attempts right there. And 2 roll throughs, and I think an attempted shin wizard. And Jaron Quincy's called a pretty darn good match here today. Calls a stalemate.
You don't want to see guys getting hurt ever,
Exactly.
but especially this time of year.
And I think if any misgivings, he's had that position there where Bouzakis was in. You can see how you can get hurt pretty easily in some of these scramble situations.
1 minute.
If I had a big lead, I wouldn't put myself in those scrambles, being honest with you. But I'm not as flexible as these guys. I see it sometimes and I just cringe. I go, how are they able to do it? That's the biggest difference. And And a lot of the athletes you see from decades ago, it is the flexibility. Know where to go on the scrambles. It's fun wrestling to watch. A lot of stalemates, though.
Red.
They send Styles back to Ohio State corner. Blood, you see the blood on his nose. Styles began his career at Nebraska. He's from Chicago, Illinois, was a 3-time Illinois State champ at Conant High School. Spent his first season at Nebraska, then went to Oregon State. An All-American last year, placing 6th. And doing well here in Columbus. Last season was a Pac-12 runner-up, and in that final, lost to Jordan Williams, 15-5. Jordan Williams was then at Arkansas Little Rock. Williams lost in the blood round. And as I mentioned, Styles made the podium. Back at it, 37 seconds left off this restart.
And Williams moved up to 157 for the Hawkeyes when he transferred.
Green choice.
Ohio State's 17-0 start for the first time in program history. The year they won the national title in 2015, they actually lost 4 dual meets. Was surprised to learn that and doing some research for this match.
Contact.
And didn't they tie? Did you just mention that they tied?
They tied Iowa at the Big Tens. Outstanding wrestler is presented by Cliff King Athletic. Jesse Mendes with another tech fall as he remains undefeated. And for the final time in his career on that Ohio State singlet in front of his mom and dad, wrestling here inside the Cavelli Center.
Yeah, Hector's having a heck of a time down there.
Lots to be proud of.
Yes.
He's a great
control, no change.
wrestler and represents the university well.
Red's
Always been a big
here.
fan of Jesse Mendes and the way he carries himself on and off the mat. And speaking of on the mat, again, right after this dual meet, on the mat, featuring Jesse Mendes, right here on the Big Ten Network.
Good job by Styles following here. Wizard position here, can block, keep that pocket closed between his knee and his forearm there. Wasn't able to do it. That leg comes in and buys another 20, 30 seconds riding time at least with Styles.
Riding time over 45 seconds.
Inside trip off that mat return. And good job by block, but it's going to get all the way out. He does. That's just persistent effort there, Shane, to come out of that, because that he had a leg in and
there on the edge.
followed him pretty well and able to kind of get to his feet and square up really well.
Got out with just under 60 seconds.
Right.
Iowa falls to 9-5. They are at Michigan State on Sunday. Next Friday, back in Iowa City against the Wolverines, then at Purdue next Sunday before their final dual meet of the season. The 22nd this month, Sunday against Oklahoma State in Stillwater.
Let it fly.
For Ohio State, it's Penn State next Friday and at Maryland on Sunday. Big Tens, March 7th and 8th. We will crown 10 Big Ten champions 30 days from today inside the Bryce Jordan Center.
Which means we're 29 days away from the quad box.
Cannot wait. That is going to be, Jim, I believe, the best Big Ten tournament ever. In that venue, with that Penn State team and the talent around the Big Ten, that is going to be some kind of spectacular.
Red's choice coming back.
Was kind of curious what kind of big fish people are catching. Look at that.
Bass right there. Big mouth bass.
How about this big mouth?
Yeah.
Nice. Look at that.
There's some similarities there, Shane. That's you and me right there.
A couple of nice bass, correct. Look at this.
Red
Mikey
snapper.
Augustino, the former Wildcat and Wolverine. I need to get on a deep sea fishing trip. That is like #1 on my bucket list, Jim.
Well, I go down and with my friend, good friend Tom Milkovich to the Marathon, Florida. Have a great time. Actually saw Mike Jr. came up and said hi. Mike Milkovich Jr. came up and said hi. But that's my fishing guy. He knows how to fish.
Wrestle to stay in here, man. Don't drive him out on me.
Rider
Wrestle to
block,
stay
it was
in.
stalling.
Set. Green.
Styles still has that riding time at 34 seconds.
One red escape, neutral.
And no surprise there, Block will give the escape. It is 1-1, 90 seconds to go in regulation.
Wrestle here.
How cool would it be to catch a marlin? I mean, you talk about a fight. That would be a fight. Forearms would be killing you.
Yeah, I've got
Work to score here.
good size halibut. My good friend Dave Allen, teammate of mine, lives up in Kodiak, Alaska. Caught a 35-pound salmon one time.
That'd be a blast.
As king. Oh, it was a blast to fix him up and eat him.
Each guy with an escape inside of a minute. Collar tie from Block. A couple of fakes there by the Hawkeye.
Yeah, both these guys are wrestling at kind of head level. Styles probably doing a little bit better job of staying low. Ryder's Block about a half head higher. He was able to get that one slide by there into a leg, straight on shot, and he's been effective with that. That's something that he does from angles. He'll circle out wide and hit a blast double like that. Wasn't able to get to it.
A one-point match won by Styles in mid-November in Tulsa at the Paycom National Duels. What a great event that was. It's going to be moved a little bit later to mid-December here in 2026. Shot by Styles. And 7 minutes. Not enough time to decide this one at 1:49. 2 minutes on the clock. It's 7 victory.
Straight on shot by Block. Like you see, he's got a lot of penetration. You know, he shoots from space quite a bit. You've seen that left-handed shot quite a bit to Block's leg. He's made attempts on that quite a bit. Styles has.
Both these guys coming off a loss, trying to get back in the W column. Styles down on a knee.
Offense.
Works back to his feet, collar tie.
Straight on shot
space.
Again. Yeah. Looked like that ankle pick might have been there as a counter shot for Styles. Right there. Switches off to a double and he gets it.
Ethan Styles in sudden victory.
That was the shot.
4-1 as he knocks off Ryder Block for the second time this season. And after falling behind 9-0, Ohio State with 24 unanswered. Here's that winning takedown.
Yeah, he was looking for that left leg the whole time. This time he got to it, made the quick switch off to a double, scooped that leg up there. And there's your reaction. His teammates love it.
The Buckeyes win the final 7 matches, Jim, and that sets up the showdown for next Friday night against mighty Penn State.
Well, this team has a lot of confidence that they can go into a lot of gyms and win a lot of matches, okay? And it's going to be a tough one, but I think a challenge that they're going to be up for it. One thing we know for sure that they've shown that they're the 2 best teams out there right now. I meet teams and wrestlers with good technique, and it's going to be fun to watch. Some great matchups.
Ohio State 24, Iowa 9, as the Buckeyes improve to 17-0 for the first time in program history. It's Penn State, Ohio State 1 versus 2 next Friday here on the Big Ten Network. Then we'll do it from Columbus. For Jim Gibbons and our entire crew, I'm Shane Sparks. A brand new episode of On the Mat featuring Mikey Caliendo and Jesse Mendes.
Rafael Pacciaroni, her coach, trying to wheel her over the line. That's nicely done though. Takes care of business on her serve, Svitolina. Now she's going to try and do it on the Halos Meyer serve.